Hey, today I want you to check out what I found at my Costco here in town to do a little bit of shopping before a contest. These are some beautiful thick cut, these are about 1.5 inch lamb loin chops. And you can see it's kind of got that T, like a porterhouse steak or a T-bone. And this would be the strip side if it were beef, and this would be the loin side. But these are going to be beautiful. I have a great marinade that I'm going to whip up and share with you today and show you how I'm going to do a kind of a reverse sear on these lamb loin chops on my Yoder. I'm going to use some Barbecuer's Delight cherry pellets. We're gonna bring them up to temp kind of slow. It'll take about 30 minutes at about 225. Then I'm gonna move them over to the hot side and sear them off, and they're gonna be dynamite. What's kind of unique about this is the ingredients that I'm using for the marinade. You see I've got some fresh herbs going on. I got a little bit of course, fresh garlic goes in everything I use, but I got some rosemary, some fresh thyme, and then some fresh oregano. And this is gonna make an awesome, awesome marinade for this lamb to sit in for a little while. Then I've got a little bit of 2 whole lemons that I've used to zest off of, and I got the juice out of the lemons as well, so I'm using the whole thing. The first step that you want to do is get some seasoning on this lamb. So you want to get a good dose of salt and coarse ground black pepper on the lamb loin chops. And I'm not measuring anything, you see, I just want some good coverage on it, because we're going to put this in a marinade. These flavors are going to work beautifully on this lamb. Now go ahead and get it turned over, because you want to get all sides, both sides. Now we're going to season the other side with a little salt. Give it some nice salt and some good coarse ground black pepper here. For the marinade, I've got my herbs chopped up here. And this is, if you just have to guess, I don't really measure it too much. I just pull out some and start chopping, but it's about a good tablespoon of the thyme and the rosemary and the oregano. And then I've got 4 or 5 large cloves of garlic that I've chopped up, and that's the zest off the 2 lemons that we squeezed. So I'm just gonna put all this in a bowl and then pour in the juice of those 2 lemons. Just give that a quick little mix here, just to loosen everything up. Then what I have is about a half a cup of olive oil. So I'm just going to drizzle in, and we're just going to incorporate this marinade together. And we're going to put it over the lamb in a Ziploc bag. And you want this to marinate for about 3 to 6 hours. You really don't need to go more than 6 on this lamb, because you want to just get some of these flavors in there, and that's plenty enough time to incorporate these fresh herbs and the lemon flavor, but it's going to be really good. So that's whisked up pretty good. Let's get the lamb back up here. We're going to place it in the bag, and then goes our marinade. Then you want to get it closed up, and then make sure you get it all incorporated into all the pieces of lamb that are in there. So you'll need to set this in the refrigerator 3 to 6 hours, and you want to come and just kind of give it a little stir like this every once in a while, because you want the marinade to really work on all the pieces of lamb loin chop. And this marinade's good on anything lamb. I mean, you can use it on a lamb crown roast, or you could use it on a boneless leg of lamb, or I've even done it with just pieces of cut up boneless leg of lamb to make kind of like pitas. But you want to get that in the refrigerator. I'll just set it back in the bowl I had that in so it doesn't make a mess. Let's let it, we're going to let it rest in the refrigerator for about 3 to 6 hours. Then we're going to take it out and get the grill ready and show you how we finish this dish off, so stick around. So I pulled the loin chops out of the marinade, and I kind of just take my fingers and knock off most of the excess, but it's okay if you leave some of the herbs and some of the garlic on there. It's going to cook, it's going to taste really good. It's going to make kind of a crust on them. But the way we're cooking these today, I've got my Yoder set up. I've got it on about 225 degrees because I'm going to do a reverse sear kind of. I'm going to start them out with some smoke low, bring them up to about 110 internal. Then when they reach that point, I'm going to move them over to my hot spot on the far right of this Yoder 480, and it'll sear them off. And it'll only take about 2 minutes on each side. So I just want to arrange them on the rack. I'm just shooting for getting them right in the center so it cooks real even. The hottest spot of this grill is over here on this far side, so that's where we'll do our final sear, and I'll crank the temp up to about 350 and have it rolling over there. We've got 8 loin chops here. Now, I'm going to stick my chef alarm probe in one of them because I want to make sure that when it's in the center, when it hits about 110 degrees, that's all it needs. So you can see I'm reading about 53. It's been sitting out of the refrigerator for about 45 minutes. I've got my target temp at 110. I'm going to let these just cook at about 225 until I hit that internal target temp on this one. And then we're going to move them over and finish them off at a real high heat over on the hot spot. So let's get the lid down, and it's going to take about 20-30 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it and watch my temps. All right, it's been 30 minutes, and I've watched on my chef alarm until the loin chops got to 110 internal. I checked them with my little probe too, just to make sure they were exactly where we wanted them, and that's as much as I want them to slow cook. So now I'm going to take them off for a second and crank the yoder up. I'm going to set them about 375 degrees and finish these off over here on the hot side. And it'll only take about 2 minutes on each side. All right, I got the heat cranked back up. It took about 3 or 4 minutes. I just let the loin chops sit to the side just for a second. But now we're going to get them on the grill here. Just put them over here on the hot side. Okay, I've got them on the hottest part of the yoder right here, and I'm going to let it go about 2 minutes on each side. So I'm setting a timer, and then we'll shut the lid and let these sear. All right, it's been 2 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and give these chops a flip here. I'm just going to give them another 2 minutes, then we're going to check the internal and see where we at. It's been about 3 more minutes. I let them roll. I checked them at the 2 minute mark, and they still needed about 5 more degrees, so I let them go 1 more minute on here. Now we're sitting at about 130 internal on these loin chops. And that's where I like them. I want them to be mid-rare. 125 is okay if you like real rare lamb, but I like it just, a little bit more. But that's the finished product right there. We'll take it inside and plate it up, and we're gonna let them rest for about 5 minutes. Okay, here's the finished dish, and you can see that these chops came out with some beautiful color, man. All the garlic and the rosemary and thyme and oregano just made some beautiful seasoning on the outside. And I plated this up today with some roasted rosemary new potatoes. I wanted to keep the same flavor profile going, so I just tossed the potatoes, the little salt and pepper and olive oil, and then chopped up real fine some of the rosemary that I used in the lamb chop marinade, and also put in a little bit of garlic. But these cooked, you could have cooked them on the cooker. I just threw them in the oven for about 50 minutes on 375, and the potatoes go great with the lamb loin chops. What I really like about it, and let's get out one and cut you. I want to show you the tenderness of it, the temperature of it. I mean, it's got a perfect medium rare. That's how really I like to eat lamb, and it's really good and moist and tender this way. It keeps a lot of natural juices. You really just don't want to overcook it. Don't leave it on there too long. If you take it up on the reverse sear part, the smoking, take it up to about 110, and then just start working it on your hot side, just a couple minutes on each side, and then check the internal temperature. That's what's going to let you know when you get it to this point. I mean, these chops are pretty thick. I mean, they're 1.5 inches thick, so they're a little more forgiving than if you had something real thin. That melts in your mouth. But so you just don't want to take them past that medium rare, right at 130 to 135. Remember, they're going to carry over when you bring them in and let them rest. But that's as much cooking as you want to do on this lamb. This packet of lamb chops was 20 bucks at Costco. If you don't think it's worth 20 bucks, something's wrong, because this meat's excellent. If you like what we're doing here at HowToBBQRight, like our page on Facebook, comment on our videos that we're posting. We're going to keep pumping out new material. We try to do something new every couple weeks. Sign up for the newsletter and send me some feedback, man. I love to answer those questions. And if If you got any ideas, shoot them my way, man. I'm up for trying anything on the grill. So thanks for watching.